Welcome back. This is Algebra 2, Chapter 7.3, Part 2. In Part 2, we are going to look at logarithmic functions and their graphs. So if you remember, we have an exponential function that looks like this, the function in red that is graphed. It has growth. It's growing exponentially. A logarithmic function is the inverse of an exponential function. So the graph is reflected along the line of y equals x. Or you could say that the y and the x points switch places. So in our red we have 0, 1. In blue we have 1, 0. In red we have 1, 10. In blue we have 10, 1. So in number 4, let's look at the graph of log base 4 of x. We're going to talk about the domain, the range, and the y-intercept. Because logarithms are the inverse of an exponential, I'm going to first look at an exponential function. So if we did like 0, 1, and 2, we would have 4 to the power 0 is 1, 4 to the power 1 is 4, and 4 to the power 2 is 16. So for our exponential function, we would have 0, 1, 1, 4, and 2, 16. For our logarithmic function, we switch the x and the y. So we have 1, 0, 4, 1, 16, 2. So let's plot those points and graph it. Alright, after graphing, this is what your graph should look like. Let's talk about the domain and range. Let's first talk about or review the domain and range of an exponential function. So the domain for an exponential function is all real numbers. So this should be review because we talked about it in 7.1. The range of an exponential function is y is greater than 0. And we also need to talk about the asymptote, which is the line that it approaches but never crosses. And in an exponential function, that's your x-axis. With a logarithmic function, because they're inverses, the domain and range are going to switch places. So that means the domain is x is greater than 0, and the range is all real numbers. The asymptote is going to switch axes, so it's now the y-axis is the asymptote for your exponential, or I'm sorry, your logarithmic function. We're going to skip 4b as well as the table and that graph. Just like all other graphs that we have talked about, logarithmic functions can be transformed. If there's an a in front or if there's a number in front, it's either stretch or compression. If a is greater than 1, it's a stretch. If a is between 0 and 1, it's a compression. If you have x minus h, you move your graph to the right. If you have x plus h, you move your graph to the left. If you have plus k, that moves your graph up. And if you have minus k, that'll move your graph down. In number 5, we need to compare the graph to the parent function. So let's first talk about the parent function. If we have log base 2, then log base 2 of x is our parent function. So how are these two functions different from each other? Well, we have this minus 3 inside the parentheses, and we have the plus 4 on the outside. So the minus 3 is going to move your graph to the right, 3, and plus 4 is going to move your graph up 4. So let's first plot the points of our original parent function. So you can do this two ways. I like to think of the exponents first, and then switch your x and your y. So we would have 1, 0. So x and y switch spots. We would have 2, 1. and 4, 2. So graph those points in black. Now we're going to move each point to the right 3 and up 4. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then connect the points. Your axis of symmetry used to be the y-axis. That also moves over 3. So 1, 2, 3. So now your new axis of symmetry is x equals 3. So that's the line that it's going to approach but never cross. And in red, that's your new graph. In part B, we'll do the same thing. We have the same parent function of log base 2 of x. So I'm going to do that in black. So I should rewrite that in black. So we have a point at 1, 0, 2, 1, 4, 2. And what's different between the parent function and our new function is the 5 that's on the outside, meaning that every y value gets multiplied by 5. So that's a stretch. So if we have 1, 0, that is going to be multiplied by 5. So your x values are going to stay the same. So we had 1, 2, and 4. Your y values is what gets multiplied by 5. So we have 0 times 5, which is still 0. So we still have a point at 1, 0. And then we had 1 times 5, which is 5, and 2 times 5, which is 10. So plot your points. So we have 2, 5, and 4, 10. So as you can see, that really stretches out your exponential or your logarithmic graph. All right, that's it for chapter 7.3.